Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game, and it's the preview of West Ham United against Aston Villa. Kick-off is 7:45 Tuesday, live on BT Sport. I'm Geo from hammerschat.com. I've got Gonzo with me as well, and I've got another YouTuber with me tonight. I've got Irons Talk. His channel link is below. He's a new YouTuber. His content is fantastic, so do click on him, subscribe to his channel and ours, of course, and show him your support. Jack, let's start with yourself then. What's your thoughts on Aston Villa?
I don't think they've performed to their best standard this season. They've struggled quite a bit, but we've gone up there earlier on in the season and we struggled. So hopefully when we play them at home, we improve.
Hey, Gonzo, we also went through a troubled time with owners. We've now got Gold and Sullivan. Are Aston Villa an example of what can happen if you've got really poor ownership?
I think so. I think there was a wave of, in particular, American investment. There's three types of investors, if you ask me. There's the billionaires plaything, so you've got Abramovich and the Abu Dhabi owners at Manchester City. You've got complete charlatans like the guys that pretend they're rich that took over and ruined Portsmouth, or you've got these American investors who seem to want a return, but I think the real problem with them is they come from American sport where there's no relegation, there's a draft system, so when they come over the whole thing's totally alien to them, so they find themselves in a situation where they can drop down, lose all their revenue, and automatically the worst teams don't get the best players in the next season.
Yeah, well, Irons Talk, Villa are sitting right now 13 points from 23 games. Do you think they're down? Is their season over?
Yeah, I think they're down. I think they're like Mike Richards is their captain, and I don't really like most of their players don't really show any passion like to try and stay up, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I think they're gone.
But West Brom survived. West Brom did this a few years ago. They were on the same amount of points at the same stage of the season and survived. Do you think this Aston Villa side's worse, Jack?
Yeah, I do think they're worse because I look at them this season, I don't really think they have any dangerous players, and I don't think they have a player to really cause many problems. I just don't think they'll stay up.
Yeah. Gonzo, what's Aston Villa's motivation for the rest of the season then? If they're down, which I think they are as well, they're out the FA Cup, they got smashed 4-0 by City, they're obviously not in the League Cup. What's the point? What keeps them going from now until May?
What's the point in Aston Villa is what you're asking. What's their motivation? You've got to assume that they're motivated. I don't think they are going to be motivated, so I don't think they've got any motivation. So it's hard to answer the question really. I'd certainly think the cause of it, we've seen it with Suarez at Liverpool, we've seen it with Bale at Tottenham, and I just think sometimes when you have such a superstar player and you sell him for big money, and make no mistake about it, it's Benteke has really been responsible for keeping him up over the past 2 or 3 seasons. I think when you get that cash injection, you've got to spend it really wisely, and they've spent a lot of money. They've spent in excess of 50 million this season, Villa, and they've wasted it.
Yeah, well, I can't agree with that. I can't disagree with that. Sorry, I think they're down. I just don't see where they're going to get motivation from for our game, for next weekend, for April. It doesn't matter. I just struggle to see why those players are going to turn up. They're getting paid handsome money, and they get paid nicely. They'll pick up their checks at the end of the month. They'll get a summer move if they wish for one. Let's talk about our own team, though. Jack, one thing we've discussed on a few episodes of Talk a Good Game before is Bilic playing 3 centre midfielders. What's your opinion on that? Because against City it worked fantastically. Against Liverpool we didn't really have much going forward. Do you think that's a root cause, Jack, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I don't really like us to play 3 centre midfielders. I think it just stops us from being that good attacking team, but like the likes against Man City, I think it worked because like Man City have got a really strong team. We need to just match them in the midfield. But when we're playing Liverpool, we've beat twice this season. I think we shouldn't play with 3 centre midfielders.
Regardless, what are you hoping Bilic does differently then? He's obviously made changes for Anfield. He's going to have to make changes again. Obviously, we've got Byron. We've got a new signing, Emenike. Is that how you say his name? We've got him now. He's able to play against Aston Villa. What are you hoping Slaven does, Gonzo?
Well, it is Emenike, isn't it? Which is bound to be shortened to Eminem, so everyone's going to be calling him Slim Shady by the end of the season, I'm pretty sure. He's going to be eligible to play, as you say. So I'd like to think if it's a choice between him and Jelavic, then I'd like let's get him in there. Otherwise, why do we buy him? But year upon year, we've bought these players: Wellington, Paulista, Brian Montenegro, Nene. We bring these players in, and they never play. Well, do you know what? You bring these players in as a loan option for when everyone's injured. He's mobile. He's been in and out of a bit of. He's a controversial character, let's say, but. Let's give him a go, and he bides our time until Carroll's back. I think Antonio starts. The real imponderable is probably. I bet Bilic didn't intend on Payet playing 90 minutes, but that was forced on him by the 2 early injuries. So yeah, I think Antonio starts ahead of Moses certainly.
So would you stick with 3 centre midfielders, Gonzo?
I don't think we're blessed with choice, and until Lanzini's back, I don't think we're blessed with that, because I still think your trio of Song, of Noble, and of Obiang is actually better than dropping one of them and drafting Moses in and having Moses on one wing and Antonio on the other.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually think the reason we played... Now, I hate the 3 centre midfielders. I've been very outspoken about it. But I had to admit it worked against City. The reason I think it worked against City is by having an attacking right-back instead of James Tompkins. I watched that again against Liverpool, and we had no threat going down the right. Because when Tompkins goes forward, you've seen in one of his crosses, Creswell swung it in beautifully. Tompkins tried to do the same thing a minute later and ended up in the Kop. He just can't do it. It's not his fault. But I think it makes a huge difference going to have Sam Byram down that right-hand side. I think he could be lethal against Aston Villa. Jack, let's go back to yourself. One stat I've got here I'm going to throw at you. We have actually blocked the most shots in the league, which is 120. Do you think that means we give opponents too much possession and time outside our own box sometimes?
Yeah, I think sometimes we just sit back and watch the opponents. I think we just sometimes need to go at them, because we do that too much against smaller teams as well. I think sometimes we just need to go for it instead of just sitting back when we're playing the likes of a smaller team, because we've done that too much this season.
Is it risky though, Jack, or are you confident that the players we've got, we can do that? We can soak up the pressure, and our defenders will block these shots, and then we can counter really quickly, which is effective. And another stat I'll throw at you is we've got the team that's top of the league for most different players scored in the league, which is 14. 14 of our players have scored, which no other team's got that many. But Jack, are you confident though that we can adapt that style where we do just sit in, soak up pressure, block the shots, and wait for our chance?
Yeah, I think we can, because we've proved it this season as well. Like Man City away, we just soaked up the pressure and it worked. We held it out, and I think we've proven it a couple of times this season that we can be doing that.
Gonzo, Villa come here tomorrow, Tuesday night. They've got 3 points from 11 away games. Now, they did come in the last 5, to be fair to them, but is this a must-win for Bilic?
No, it's a must-win for Villa, that's for sure. No, I don't see that there's any pressure on us whatsoever. I mean, clearly they'll have had more rest than us, because more first-team players were involved against Liverpool than I think Bilic would have liked. So I think Bilic, possibly under normal circumstances, wouldn't go for the cup, but he's said the quote, "The cup is more important than 4th place," and I think there's a slight amount of kidology in there, because I don't think we'll for us to get 4th place, not only have we got to play well, but other teams have got to drop this. There's quite a gap, isn't there? So yeah. So I really think that there's no pressure on him for this game. We're unprecedented level. We're safe. We're safe from relegation, which is surely the aim going into the new stadium, and we're going to be looking to consolidate a top 8, top 6 place. And I think with that in mind, there's no pressure.
Well, I think if we're trying to get top 6, I think it does become a must-win. But it's not just I don't think it's so much for the points. I think it's for just confirming our spot as one of the best teams outside the top 4. I think that's why it becomes a must-win. Let's get rid of the West Ham of old, of letting these teams turn up Upton Park and get the win when they really need it. Let's get rid of that. That's why I think it becomes a must-win. I mean, Gonzo, we not be a bit annoyed though if we don't win. We not think, well, that wasn't very good. Aston Villa are awful. They're potentially going to be the worst team ever to be in the Premier League in terms of points.
Well, I'm not going to be annoyed, because I think we're going to thrash them. I think they're awful. I really do. And that goes some way towards the same reason I say there's no pressure on Bilic. The pressure's all on Remy Gard. What on earth they did appointing an unproven manager in the situation that they're in is beyond me. No, I think the pressure's all on them. I think they're awful. Their confidence is shot. I
think it's because Remy Gard teams don't concede goals. I think that's why they took him in. If you looked at him at Lyon, he played for 1-0s, he played for 2-0s. The problem is you had a good team there, and you had one of the best teams in the league. You could grind them out. almost time for the big question from these two, but the big news that's come out over the weekend is West Ham ladies will be playing at Upton Park on the 8th of March against Tottenham Hotspur ladies. So if you're free on that night, it's only £5 to get in if you're an adult, £1 for a child. Look at their social media, or you can come onto the Hammers Chat forum at hammerschat.boards.net. There's a thread there with all the information you need there, so do come along and support the club. Remember to hit the subscribe button while you're here. Our social media links are below if you're on social media, and also so is Jack's Iron Talk. Jack, time for the big question. Give us a score prediction. Are you confident? And give us your score prediction.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident, and I'm going with 3-0 West Ham.
Fantastic. Gonzo, you're confident. You say we're going to thrash them. What's your score prediction?
I'll have a bit of Jack's 3-0 as well. I'll go with Jack.
I think we're going to do a professional job. I think we will dominate them. I don't think we'll keep sticking to goals, and I'll go for a comfortable cruise to a 2-0 victory. Anyway, we've been Hammers Chat. That's been Irons Talk. Do subscribe to both channels, and we'll see you back here Tuesday night for the review of West Ham United, hopefully thrashing Aston Villa.